Thank you. So let's do this, man. It's time for us to bring our guests in. Let me say, I appreciate the Detroit callers, man. We don't take that for granted. You don't have a show, you don't have callers. We do appreciate your calls, man. But let me tell you something. This is the rules we play by. These are my rules. They ain't your rules. So if you want to hold on 30 minutes, then hold on 30 minutes. If you don't do it. If you don't want to listen to me, don't listen. If you don't want to call it, don't call. It's real simple. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to do whatever you want to do, but you ain't going to dictate how I run my show. Ain't going to happen. In Detroit, nowhere else. So if you want to hold on for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, then do it. If you don't, just say, I'll call back. That's on you. Don't want to listen? It's real simple. Don't listen. We're going to get listeners. That's what we do, and we keep it real. Let's go now talk to a gentleman that I know very well. And, boy, he's got an interesting story to tell. His name is Langford, Cunningham. We call him Blind City. And I'm going to get him on. Blind City, how you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm blessed and blind, brother. How you doing, man? Congratulations to you, JC and Jeff, man. How y'all doing? What's up, Blind City?
We're all doing good, man. We're all doing good. Hey, let's talk about Blind City. Tell everybody who you are. And we need to tell them about the story. The story's a profound story when you hear it.
Well, let me get right into it.
I'm just going to be quiet and let you tell the story.
Let me get right into it, man. Last couple callers I heard calling in, man. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't about the pity party, man. We got a lot of serious issues out here in the world, man. People out here dying. People out here struggling. And I'm hearing a pity party on the time on the phone. It's totally ridiculous, man. Black people got more serious issues to address, like the school system. What about the Flint, Michigan water system? And you up here talking about you on the phone for 40 minutes. Ridiculous. Now, let me get to my story. Langford, Cunningham, man. I had everything, man. I was working in juvenile detention, cupping at with you. I was living a life, had the cars, had the house in the suburbs. I thought I completed my job as a man. Because ever since I was a young boy, we was taught to chase wealth. But we was never taught to look after our health like we chase wealth. So when I accumulated all this materialism, I thought that was it for me. But I wasn't paying attention to my health. I'm going to the strip clubs, making it rain, Magic City in Atlanta, traveling all over, dating different type of women. I thought life was good, man. But I never had a personal relationship with God. So one day I woke up in the morning, my eyes were bloodshot red. I looked in the mirror. I went to Walgreens to get some stuff to put into my eyes. 2 days later, my eyes were still bloodshot red. I said, well, damn, I know I've been drinking a lot. I'm an alcoholic. But what's really going on? So I went to the ophthalmologist. He took a look in my eyes, and he pushed the chair back. Anytime a doctor pushed the chair back, you're in trouble, man. And he looked, he said, anybody in your family have glaucoma? I said, yes, my father did. He said, well, what happened? I said, well, he went blind. He said, well, your eye pressure is 45. Normal eye pressure for a person is 12 to 15. They had to rush me into surgery. I had 31 surgeries, and they couldn't save my sight. Now reality hits. This is what I'm talking about, the pity party. All them cars I bought, the Rovers, the Chargers, everything with the rims, I couldn't see no more. That beautiful house I bought in the suburbs, and I decorated the inside to impress women when they came inside, guess what? I couldn't see it no more. And I thought my life was over. I said, I'm ready to tap out. I'm ready to kill myself because I felt I wasn't receiving what I was worshiping, the materialism. So I tried hanging myself. That didn't work. So I said, okay, well, I get my gun. I put bullets in it. I'm ready to blow my brains out. I put it in my mouth. The gun got jammed. I pulled the trigger 3 times. I'm really frustrated. I throw the gun against the wall. So I called my partner down in the hood. Man, bring me some pills, bro. I know that's gonna do it. I just overdosed. I'm ready to tap out of here. I don't have the cars no more. I can't see my house. I'm just ready to give up. He said, okay, I'm gonna bring it to you. Now this is my friend. And a lot of you got friends walking around out here you hanging with really don't have your best interest. But the only way you find out is unless you catch cancer or get real sick, and you'll really find out who your friends are. You probably won't be able to count them past your fifth finger. On his way bringing me these drugs, I'm waiting for an hour. I'm like, it shouldn't take this long. So I dialed his cell phone. A state trooper picks up the phone and says, who is this? I said, well, who are you? He said, well, you looking for somebody? I said, yes. He said, well, we got him in handcuffs. We just pulled him over and found drug paraphernalia in the car. I dropped the phone. I tried to kill myself 3 times within an hour. It didn't work. I recognized there was a higher power out there, that we are not in control. And then I heard a voice say, well, what you gonna do? If you go the other way, I can't promise what'll happen to you. But if you turn towards me, I can show you what your next journey in life is. And right there, I fell to my knees and started crying and recognized God. But I had to recognize Christ first, Jesus, because that's the only way you can get through God is through Jesus. And Blind City, the podcast, was created. It's one of the hottest podcasts in the streets. We inspire people. We help people make sure they don't lose sight of their vision like I did. Because you got a lot of people walking around out here that have sight, but ain't got no damn vision. And that's what I do. I help people make sure they don't lose their sight of their vision, meaning reaching their purpose, to fulfill their purpose in life, reach their goals in life. Because you got to find out why you live in here. You got to find out why you exist. And because you exist doesn't mean you call on the radio and complain you are heard for 40 minutes. That is not your existence on this planet. You have a deeper purpose. And that's what my purpose is. I had to lose my sight to find my vision, to inspire people through my podcast and my nonprofit. Go into these streets, talk to these gangs, be that with you, talk to women that have been through domestic abuse, sex trafficking, everything that's a toxic in our community. And 2 things you have to decide. I don't care if you worship Allah. I don't care if you worship Jehovah, Jesus, or God. You got 2 choices. You have to recognize what you stand for. You're either the solution in the community or you're the pollution in the community. And I've seen a lot of people come through religion that were pollution. Jim Jones, don't let me keep going down the chart. So you got to check yourself. Either you're going to create change or you're going to be hazardous to change. Which one you going to be?
Hey, Blind City, when you talk about people, you had a lot of money. You was in the game. You was getting it down. I mean, we just talked to a young lady, Tanisha Welch. I mean, did time in prison, with the DMF family organization. And now you had the same kind of lifestyle, but you was rolling. You have this incident that happened to you out of the blue just happened. How have people treated you? How have people treated you since you went blind? And this has just happened, folks, a year ago.
Correct.
A year ago. It ain't like you've been blind forever. It just happened a year ago. How have you been able to deal with that?
Oh man, I mean it's hard because when the power to be, the creator God, when he strips you of everything, you really find out what you really about. Because a lot of people we out here living off impressions, man. We don't really know who's real, man. We got Thanksgiving coming up, man. Yeah, everybody sits at the table when the food done, but how many people gonna stay after to wash the dishes? We really don't know who's real until we find ourselves in some type of adversity that really deters our health. Because you can't move around like everybody else. I mean, the way they treat disabled people in America, you want to talk about racism. You really want to talk about racism between black and white? Be disabled. I'm black and disabled. So I get it twice worse. But I ain't crying about it. I ain't finna have no pity party. I'm going to change what I can affect change. I'm going to keep it moving, man. You got a lot of people out here, they talk like Jesus, but they don't move like Jesus. See what I'm saying? They talk Allah, but they don't move like Allah. See what I'm saying? So when you get stripped of everything and you lose one of your arm parts or your body parts or you can't see no more, you really find out what you're made of, and you really find out who God is. It's hard to find God when you got a pocket full of money.
Hey, Blind City, let me ask you this. How can people find your podcast? Because I know you got a hell of a podcast. You've had some great national guests on your podcast. How can they find your podcast to be able to listen to you on your podcast? How can they find that?
Oh, man, they can go right to blindcitythepodcast.com. That's THE, blindcitythepodcast.com. YouTube, blindcitythepodcast.com. And hit Blind City the Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, man. And we had amazing guests, Corey Bush. We got you, big fella, number 21, back in the days at the Silver Dome. You dropping your knowledge. We also have Michael Brown Sr., and, you know, we got people in the streets. We got trapped in these violent streets. We got queens in the trap. We dealing with the hood, man. We dealing with people who are sick out here, people who want to express and have somebody to talk to. They call us the therapy for the streets, man. Just bringing people to the table to release their tension might save a life, because we don't have conflict resolution in the hood. We go get the gun and shoot. And we got to get back to having a therapeutic environment in these streets with these kids, man, and stop giving up on them. They killers, they shooters, they gangsters, they this. Well, okay, but guess what? We got some that's not gangsters and shooters. And the ones that join the gangs, hey, man, they scared to death. They don't fight in a circle no more with their fist up, man. These kids go to school, they got beef with another kid at school. He fight that whole damn neighborhood. So he got to go join the gang. He got to get back up. So we got to understand the reason why a lot of these kids are doing the things they do. Just don't call them out and say they not worth nothing, or they paying sagging, they doing this. Well, there's a reason why they doing that, bro. They dealing with some serious issues in the community. Their spirit is broken, their family situation is broken, and their community is broken. Now, where are you going to get the self-esteem to fight that?
I know that's right. Well, Blind City, man, it's always an honor having you on the show, man, and I wanted the people to hear who you are. No, because you got a hell of a story to tell. And I love you telling your story, man. And this just happened a year ago, and you're still fighting the fight, man. I really admire you. I respect you, and I love you, my man. Blind City, it's always good. And give us how they can reach you again, man.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me tell people this, man. Yeah, every day it's a struggle, bro, but I still be out there and I still do what I got to do, because God lives in me. Whether I'm blind or I can see, I still love God. But let me say this. Tell people this, man. Stop searching for the blessing and learn how to become the blessing. Riva Dochi.
That's my man, the Blind City, man. Hey, JC. And it's interesting how he talks about the struggle he had. And what he's gone through. He tried to kill himself 3 times. Imagine trying to kill yourself 3 times. With bullets in the gun, you crack the trigger, you shoot it, you try to shoot yourself, it don't go off. You try to hang yourself, it don't work. You try to get pills to kill yourself, overdose, and it don't work. Oh, my God. So, you know, it was meant to him to have that story, to be here to tell us what's going on, Jimmy.
No doubt, no doubt. He had a purpose, man, and that's why God still has him here, man. Blind City, man. And to meet the guy is just a tremendous blessing, man. To meet him, the same spirit that the listeners you hear him on the radio, is the same spirit in person.
And I want to say this, man. I really appreciate all of our guests coming out. I appreciate the Detroit market calling us and talking to us. But let me just, Detroit, I think I need to set the rules, how we work. We don't talk about nobody else's show. Everybody got their shows. They do what they want to do when they show here on 910 the Superstation. But let me just make this clear. It ain't nobody going to tell me when I got to answer the phone. It ain't nobody going to tell me how much I got to let them talk. It ain't happening.